My name is Presley.
And I'm Equitable.
Oh, I don't even remember that part.
It's just the name of a building.
Oh, my God.
And this is the height of horror. Presley, guess what?
What?
You're officially one of my co-hosts because you fell asleep before a scheduled recording.
Woo!
However, most of them sleep through the entire scheduled recording.
Don't worry, I'll get there.
Especially if we keep bumping these recordings later and later.
I don't even know. I was like, hey, we can do it now. I'm free. And then you didn't text me back for hours. And I was like, okay, I'll just take a nap.
Which, that's fine. We're technically recording before our scheduled record.
Yeah.
There have been times when it's like, hey, let's record at 2 p.m. And then I don't hear from them until 4 p.m. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, we just can't record now.
Well, just you wait.
It'll be Sunday morning and you'll be like, oh, shit, James.
Oh, I know. I'm actually busy with my life now. And that's never been a thing for me in like 10 years.
You'll say, oh, man, I took a Claritin and an edible. That was a bad idea.
I started taking edibles again.
Yeah.
I'm going down that path of righteousness.
I wish Nicole and I had a live podcast recording at Fan Expo Chicago. And because of that, I couldn't do an edible because when I got home, I was like, hey, Nicole, to balance out you doing this for me, even though she enjoys doing it, I will help you out. And then by the time I was done, it took me like an hour and a half to just fill bags with seedy skulls for a wedding that she made seedy skulls for.
That's a cute idea.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, head to darlinghomebody.com. But I'm going to end up going 2 weeks without a day off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, look at you.
So I can't wait for next Friday. It's Saturday. That's been my week. What about yours?
Working. Okay. My friend came over and I love her. Bless her heart. She helped me amp up my resume and shit yesterday. It took us 5 hours. She left my apartment at 11:30.
Oh, no.
p.m. And I was dead. I had been awake for 19 hours. I was falling asleep on the couch. But that's a homie. That's a homie for sure.
Maybe that's why I'm not getting hired in any of these jobs that I apply for, because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to spend, all I have is 30 minutes to work on this resume.
Yeah, no, she's like, well, we started from scratch, and I think that's why it took so long. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a really long time.
Still, I just pull up a template and say, there you go.
That's what I usually do, but she had a template that she had saved, and she was looking at other people's resumes, because she does this for other people, because she's really fucking good at it. Mm-hmm. And she had like a bunch of open tabs and like referencing back and Googling different words for like, oh, she's an angel. Mandy, I love you. I don't think she listens to this, but
I would have just been like, can we please download Grammarly, just the free trial? We don't need to be Googling words. It'll do it for us.
Can we have AI type this out for us, actually?
Please.
I want to go to bed.
Just plug in the resume and say, AI, make this better, and maybe it'll touch it up.
Yeah, we'll see. See if I get hired.
You're looking for another job, but you get to actively watch horror movies at the one you have now.
Oh, I know. I forgot about that. Well, this would be a work from home, so I technically could still do that.
Hell yeah.
I know. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't think anyone from my work listens to this. But I think the ones that do listen to this, if they do, would know, oh, obviously you're applying to new. We've had this discussion.
By our analytics, yeah, chances are no one from your work's listening to this podcast.
That's depressing.
We need more listeners and more people not on Facebook shaming us.
Dude, that was so funny.
Also, remember, point that microphone towards your mouth.
What was that guy's name? I totally forgot.
I don't know. It was some Jim Bob Hippie Boy, something like that. But real quick, because Lil Corey and I roasted this man on This Existed, and we made it a clip. But I am posting clips on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And so far, TikTok has been nothing but great when it comes to commenters. Facebook and Instagram have been iffy of people just not understanding what this is. I guess they don't know that like comedy is what started podcasting really, and like what really grew this medium, because it's like, this is a comedy podcast. Yes, we're talking about film, but at the end of the day, we're trying to make the yucks and the laughs. So I posted a clip of when you were looking into camera because you had a massager on, and I was like, it looks like you're having too much fun. And this man was pissed because we, I guess, wasted 1 minute of his life in false advertising. He's like, why aren't you talking about my favorite horror movie?
Yeah, no. And he's like, I don't want to listen to you talking about a massager and some chick. And I was like, bro, like, you have no right to like tell us how to do that. Once you start paying us for our time and editing and give us a script, then you can seriously shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude, shut up. And he's all hippy dippy, and in his profile it was like, bringing light within the darkness that it is the world. And I'm like, no, you're not. You could have just
you're
like
doing the complete opposite of that.
Yeah, you could have just skipped over it. But something that we shouldn't skip over, Presley.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
What are our analytics?
Oh, I don't know. We get like 7 listens a week, Presley.
What? One of them is me.
Oh no, Presley. We get 6 listens a week, Presley.
Well, it's something to do.
Yeah. And hey, I'm working. I'm trying to get us more listeners, and hopefully that will come to fruition soon. Hey, if anyone,
I'm not.
please. Well, you tell some of your friends. Your friends listen. Mine don't. Oh, wait, no. Steve Barnes does, but he's also on the podcast network, so I don't know if that technically counts as a friend listens.
Oh, I fuck with Steve Barnes. He follows me on Instagram,
Oh,
so
man,
I follow
he's cool.
him.
Yeah. Has my mom started following you on Instagram?
No, but your sister did, and that's why I love her so much.
All right. Eventually, my mom, when she starts, like, knowing this, even my mom doesn't know this podcast exists, which is difficult for me. But when an ICP podcast that is on the network has more listens than us, it's a bad day.
Hey, we're having fun. We're two friends.
Eventually, someone on Facebook will like us. Hey, that live event Nicole and I did finally had people in front of us sitting down watching the entire time, and they're like, you guys rock! And we're like, take that Jim Bob Hippie man.
Oh, yeah, I think we're giving him too much airtime.
Yeah, I have given him far too much over the past 2 weeks.
Jim Bob, why did you do this to James? He'll never be the same.
I won't. But I've been doing good. Things are looking on the upswing. Fingers crossed one of these movie theaters I've applied to hires me.
Oh.
I'm only applying to movie theaters. Luckily, Chicago has a shit ton.
That would be cool. You should apply to like a big one with like a lot of people and try and see Chance the Rapper if he ever comes through.
There is a close one that is an independent one that it would take me 5 minutes on my Razor scooter to get to every day, and that's the one I really want.
That would be cool.
And that's where Nicole and I will be into October. Nicole and I will be able to discuss a 14-hour horror movie marathon at that theater because we're going there because it's on our 10th anniversary.
Cute.
I'm excited. But what I'm more excited to talk about right now is the Fortnight of Horror. Presley, did you watch anything?
I did. First, I'd like to mention, honorable mention, it's not a horror movie per se. There's a ghost haunting, but it's like for the greater good. It's actually an old Disney Channel movie, and it has the main character of Child's Play 3 in it. It's called Suzy Q.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I fucking loved that movie when I was a kid. And again, I fell down the rabbit hole of watching fucking YouTube videos. So I watched that the other day, and it was really good and cute. But I also watched this French horror movie called Calvaire. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not.
Okay, so I was gonna watch like High Tension or Martyrs for like the 20th time because I'm fucking bored. Like, what the fuck else am I doing? So then I looked up like, oh, other movies, like other titles, like similar to this, and I was like, oh, Calvaire. Oh, that sounds fancy. And then I watched the trailer, and I'm like, oh, this looks like kind of fucked up, and it was interesting. This guy's pretty much holding this other guy like captive because his car breaks down. And he's like pretending he's his wife. And it's fucking crazy.
That's odd.
And I'm not sure I would tell anyone to watch it. But if you're into like the French extremity movies, maybe give it a go if you haven't already.
Hell yeah.
It's something to do.
Anything else?
Not at all.
Societally, the things they're touching on is horrific. I watched Barbie.
Aww.
Guys,
lucky.
It's a 5 out of 5 movie. It rocks.
Cute.
The scene and art direction, all of that is so beautiful and well done. Guys, watch it when you get a chance, but we're not here to talk about those horrors. We're here to talk about one. I watched Kenan and Kel's Two Heads Are Better Than None. It is a straight up horror movie. We discuss it in full on patreon.com/MLM pod. It's a Kenan and Kel movie to close out the series, and there's decapitations left and right in this movie.
I loved that movie when I was a kid. It legitimately scared me.
Yeah, it's baffling that this was on Snick. Go check that out over on the Patreon. Also, it's so funny. Kenan and Kel holds up so strong. Then I watched Bloody Murderer 2 because We Love Trash did a watch along of it. I would not recommend anyone watch this movie. It's a serviceable slasher movie, but you could watch 100 others before you get to this one.
Thought you were gonna say a Serbian
fit. Wait, why did you think
You said a and I was like, where are you going with this?
No, it's a serviceable slasher. No, it's not a Serbian film.
Okay.
Again, you need to be in this apartment, or I need to be in your apartment to ever watch that.
All right. Make it happen one day.
And then we watched the documentary on Shudder. It's a new one called Sharksploitation. It's a very good documentary about how sharks have been wronged in the world because of all these sharksploitation movies post Jaws.
Oh. See, I thought they just used really shitty CGI.
What do you mean?
For shark movies. For like shark movies, like fucking Sharknado.
But meaning like sharks have been demonized by these movies.
Oh, well,
whereas they're not super mean animals.
Well, yeah, look at me.
How they're portrayed in media post Jaws, because even before that, a lot of movies would show them as just like kind of a dolphin of like, hey, we're sea captains, we're on the seas. Hey, you see that shark? Hey, dude, how you doing? And then they swim away.
So they're not gonna fucking eat your leg off of a surfboard or like.
No, something weird has to be happening in order for that to happen.
Got it. Yeah. Well, the more you know.
Mm-hmm. And that's all we watched. I mean, we watched Encino Man. That's not much of a horror movie, though.
But it's a classic.
Uh-huh. It's one of Nicole's...
Honorable mention.
It's one of Nicole's favorite movies, I guess.
You know what mine is?
What?
Son-in-Law.
Oh, man. You gotta watch. It's so bad. Jury Duty. It's another Pauly Shore movie. It's so horrendous. It's as if Pauly Shore got hit on the head, took an Ambien, and forgot how to act.
Oh, is it a new one?
No, it's from like 94, 95. It's on Amazon, I think.
Oh, I don't have Amazon, so.
It might be a freebie thing, or it might even be on Tubi. Tubi.
All right.
But that's enough of that. Let's get into the reason for the season. The world of height of horror may know Chucky, the man-turned-good guy doll, in some hilarious, zany events, as the husband to Tiffany, a woman turned some other doll in even more comically hilarious fashions from 1998's The Bride of Chucky. But his adventures actually don't begin begin there. If you jump back 7 years, you'll see they actually begin with Child's Play 3 from 1991, release date August 30th.
Ooh, we should have waited till the 30th to do this.
And then we could have said, hey, it's turned 32 years old.
Yes.
Oh, man, and on September 30th, I turned 32 years old.
Gross.
But Nicole and I's love turns 10 years old.
Aww.
It's double digits.
Cute. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm. And 8 years living here in Chicago. But listeners know that from last episode.
Our last episode?
Yeah, we discussed. You asked me. Oh, also, I finally started eating chicken nuggets again.
Aw, proud of you.
So that's an update on last episode. That's cheaper than buying a brick of tofu, everyone. Crazy that you can say that. Lives are lost with a chicken, but a tofu bean? No, no, no. But this movie, written by Don Mancini, the story tells of a boy in military school getting into shape after years of some trauma or whatever. Crazy how they don't go more in depth with that, because I wouldn't mind seeing that crazy stuff in full. I know there are future Child's Play movies after this and Bride of Chucky, so maybe some of those are prequels, Presley.
I don't know that.
Presley, I'm acting as if like Child's Play 3 is the first in the series.
Oh, you gotta tell me these things.
Mancini initially wanted to introduce the concept of multiple Chuckies in the movie, but due to budget constraints, the idea was eventually scrapped, which he eventually got to do in the series Chunky. You watch the goddamn series, dude. Finish it up.
Oh, I was going to say he did that in the Cult of Chucky.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, that was the no. I haven't seen Cult of Chunky. It's, I've only seen Chunky.
I hate you.
In the notes, I forgot that Cult of Chucky had that originally where there were 3. But hey, in the series.
No, there were like 20.
Oh, but in the series, there's hundreds.
Yeah, there were like 50 in the Cult because they kept coming up and they all had different haircuts or like it was crazy. I haven't seen that movie in a while, but it was pretty good.
Oh, dang. Was that barber there giving him cuts saying, hey, feels it Wednesday?
Ew. No.
Okay, before Jack Bender became director of Child's Play 3, Mancini wanted to hire, do you know what director he wanted to hire?
No.
It's one of the biggest directors in the world right now, but not back then.
Christopher Nolan.
Nope. Peter Jackson.
That would have been fucking cool.
Off from his works on, I'm guessing, Bad Taste and Meet the Feebles, I presume, because Brain Dead wouldn't come out until 1992, which I downloaded recently. We will be doing that on Straight to Patreon soon.
I fucking love that movie. I have a really cool Brain Dead shirt.
Oh, hell yeah. Would you like reviews to this?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 stars from Erica. They state, I thought the leader guy and Andy were going to kiss like 10 times. Why was he so close up and personal?
I could see that.
This is 5 stars from Jose, simply stating in quotes, Chucky's going to be a bro. Weird that they said bro. Like, I'm glad he didn't say brother because that would have been really cringy. So now it just seems like he's like, I'm going to be a bro just like you, Andy. We're going to be able to hang out now. God. 3.5 stars from Ivan saying more movies should have characters whose only personality trait is wanting to give people haircuts.
Well, yeah, I mean.
It'd make for a better world.
Like free haircuts like that. Oh, I wish.
3.5 stars from Cozy Heart Emoticon. They say, this one is funny, but it'd be funnier if Chucky hit the gritty at least once. That is a football dance where like you move your legs like a little bit and you move your arms in a motion going back and forth. And I was like, what the fuck does this review mean? And I searched the gritty. I was like, yeah, it would be to see Chucky do that. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Guys, everyone, Google the gritty. 3 stars from Emily. That's XCVI, which I'm not going to do the Roman numerals of that. They say, it is nice seeing asshole military men getting wasted, but other than that, pretty standard slasher fun. Which is crazy, Presley, that we rarely talk about this, but like a quarter of MLM Pod, like of the co-hosts, went to military school.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of the Hit It and Crit It boys went to military school.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Are they okay?
Oh, yeah, they're now okay. I was going to say, oh, yeah, they always were. But no, they've talked to like, oh, that was like Jose was in the military post that. And he's talked about it saying, yeah, they kind of get you. They sink their teeth in. And then he ended up just going, oh, I don't need this. No, thank you.
Good for him.
And finally, 3 stars from Joe. In quotes, they say, the price of freedom is high, but it's a price I'm willing to pay. Quoted by saying, Shelton as he forces cadets to exercise late at night because a doll is missing. So stupid.
Little dramatic, but whatever.
That kid deserved to be shot in the chest.
Absolutely. He should have been shot sooner.
Should have been shot. Should have actually had the craziest death, which at the end, Presley, we sometimes will say, hey, what's your favorite kill? I kind of want to, a lot of other podcasts or like YouTube shows do that. I want to do, which is your preferred way to die? If you were to be in any of these scenarios, so think about that as we go through. Which of these deaths that Chucky committed would you want to have done to you? If you had, like, hey, gun to your head, but this gun won't be shooting, unless it's the security guard. Gun to your head, which of these will you be choosing?
Heart attack.
Oh, Presley, you're going to it too quickly.
But he died so fast.
I think the gunshot to the head security guard was quicker.
Oh, that's true. Or the garbage truck man.
Okay, no, that guy had terror in his eyes and his arm cracked off.
Well, yeah, but it was fairly quickly. It was just a little, it wasn't instant. But
yeah, but then also
almost.
Like people have to scoop you out.
Ew.
Exactly.
That's true. Ugh.
And there was no trash compactor whatsoever. I have helped my father install or like look at areas where he would need to build trash compactors. That's one of his trades. None of them have this huge wheel coming at you like it's in Indiana Jones, but it has spikes on it.
Yeah, that was like medieval.
Yeah, it just compacts you and that's it.
Weird.
You want to get into it?
Yes.
And then I'll let everyone know at the end which death I would prefer.
Razor to the throat.
No, ew. I'm scared of knives. Remember, my sister cut me once.
Yeah, Louise.
And you respect her for that or something.
I could never stop loving her.
Wowzers. Okay, so we begin, Presley, in the old Mr. Good Guy factory, and this set is miraculous.
I loved it.
Oh, it's so good. Cobwebs everywhere, as if just Spider-Man came in, just shooting ropes everywhere.
Don't do that jerk off sign.
I know, I'm doing his thwip sign. And he's got to like just litter it about everywhere going, Ew. It hurts him. It's juices and whatnot, solids pushing out through him.
You know what I just realized, though, while I was watching it this morning? You got to stop doing that.
What's up?
That his blood mixed in with the plastic, and that's why he came back. I never put that together because I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, because the thing goes down and crunches him. There's a claw machine. The claw grabs onto his melted carcass from 7 years prior and just like, glink. And blood spurts out. You would have scraped that off from the ground.
You should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You also should have, put this into an evidence locker 7 years ago.
Yeah. Hey, why is that bleeding?
Uh-huh.
Why is that plastic bleeding all over me?
This is one of my least favorite versions of a horror movie of just, hey, let's gaslight this kid up until the end where he is just, hey, you're a psychopath. You clearly committed all these murders. And it's like, no, I was 8 and then I was 9 and now I'm 16. You really think Bring the cameras up, security cameras. I didn't put bullets in all of these rifles.
Oh, I know. I always, why do they gotta leave it off on a cliffhanger?
Yeah.
Tie up some loose ends, do a time jump, and let us know what the fuck happened.
We don't find that out until the series, right?
I don't know. I haven't really watched it.
Okay, you gotta watch it. I'll give you my Peacock info.
Oh, all right.
And then you can go on Peacock.
In The Curse of Chucky, actually, I think it's either The Curse or The Cult. There's a scene where the original Andy Barclay has Chucky's head in a safe that he fucking tortures. Mm-hmm. So I think it doesn't really say anything, but it kind of shows you pictures of Kyle and the military school chick that he likes. So he's like obviously De Silva. So they kept in touch and stuff, but it doesn't explain much of anything. Okay.
Tyler comes back. He's going to be in season 3.
Is it actually him?
Uh-huh.
Like the same actor?
Yep.
Well, now I got to watch.
That dude seems to be very up on the conventions because, you look him up and it's just him at conventions hanging out with fans.
I made eye contact with Andy Barclay at Crypticon. He's a very little man.
Were you like, but still my beating heart?
No, I was like, oh, that's a cool jersey. And he, I didn't say that to him, but I looked at him and I was like, oh, that's the guy. But he just gave me the side eye,
I saw 2 Power Rangers this weekend.
And a bunch of Spider-Men.
Oh, yeah, a lot of Spider-Men.
Quite a bit.
When he gets drained into that, it's like, oh, his blood splashing down into this pit that starts boiling and then it starts going down in a whirlpool. It made me really want a chocolate milk, or not a chocolate milkshake, a strawberry milkshake.
I was going to say it was the chocolate factory that they were in because that's what it reminds me of.
Oh, yeah. Willy Wonka's there and he says, hey, Chucky, you like murdering kids, don't you? Come work for me.
He's like, yeah, same.
He paints him orange and he says, you're my new Oompa.
Ew.
And then Chucky does his hilarious scream from this movie of him just going, ah!
I'm born again.
His screaming in this was hilarious.
It was.
In a realistic way. This is how a man would scream, but seeing a doll scream like that is funny.
Yeah, agreed.
And the title sequence looks so good. Him unmelting.
Yeah, and putting him together and then the blood's still there. It was good. I liked it.
Very good. And then we go to a boardroom meeting of whatever toy company put out the Good Guys doll. And these people are like, yo, man, fuck that kid. No one remembers him. No one cares about him anymore. Hey, we should countersue him. It's crazy how they never went to that. Let's countersue this kid for all these suings that happened to us, the equity that fell. Oh, we really need this kid to be worthless.
And they never fully discontinued the doll. And why are you doing it again?
No, I think they fully discontinued it. And then they brought it back. They're like, hey, the time will never be better. Interest is there. We gotta bring the Good Guys doll back.
Yeah, we have a factory full of fucking heads.
Ugh. And cobwebs from just Spider-Man going.
Oh.
And the Spider-Man that I was seeing at the convention, they were all doing it.
Jerking off?
No, doing their little thwip motion. It was into near toilets and whatnot. Because when I go into a restroom, I peek over all the stalls, make sure no one's in there before I go in. It was just a bunch of Spider-Man going,
Ew.
And I had headphones on, so I would peek up, I'd see them, and because they have morph suits on, make sure they weren't talking to me. I'd take my headphone off, hello, and I'd just hear, and I'd go, oh, shoot, okay, they're busy shooting their webs out, obviously. And when they all came out, they had like this like weird discoloration around their bulges.
This is why we only get 6 weeks a week.
There was, when Nicole and I tabled at the anime convention, there was someone, I forgot what he was dressed up as, but it's like, dude, you need to tuck because your dick is huge. But clearly he was actually he didn't even seem like a guy who's like, yeah, look at it. Just I think was completely oblivious to the fact that he has a big dick.
Was he a weeb?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
And he's like, it's like, dude, you could be wrecking a house.
I know. Go fuck it up.
Uh-huh. But instead
take off your costume, go take a shower.
That's a misconception. Most anime weebs are clean. There are some that, because they'll walk past and you'll be like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, maybe I'm just being prejudiced.
But I would say like 95 out of 100 are clean.
Interesting. All right.
Physically, mentally, I would say that skews vice versa. Speaking as one. Okay, so this boardroom meeting, this guy, because he's getting pushback of making this new doll line, he says, hey, this is business. It's sales. Just if we were in cars, nuclear weapons, or toys, it's all just business. That's a big leap from cars to nuclear weapons, then back down to toys.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
That's a stretch Armstrong.
And then he says, kids aren't real.
He says kids aren't real?
No, I forgot what he said, but he said something like, what are kids but testing? I don't know. He just said something really shitty about kids, and that's like, that confirmed his decision to like, we're gonna fuck those kids, sell the dolls.
Okay. They're a test subject. Hey, if the good guy dolls are running amok, stabbing people, we'll sell them as military equipment.
Oh.
This is just the plot line of Small Soldiers.
I love that movie.
So then we see the building at night. So the CEO is in one building and you see his lights on, and the building next to it, it's labeled Equity. And I thought that was very funny of like, hey, guys, trust us. You have to trust us. Here we are equitable, okay? No, it wasn't equity. It was equitable. This building, it will give you profits. Just trust us.
Okay, so that wasn't his apartment. That was his office that he was in.
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, why would a big fucking rich, powerful CEO have toys all over his fucking apartment?
No.
Okay.
He's not Tom Hanks in Big.
I own that movie and it's fucking Oscar worthy.
I own that movie on VHS 3 times.
It's so good though.
I haven't seen it since a child, but I remember it being very good.
I watch that and Uncle Buck like at least twice a year.
I would like to do a double feature of Big and then Jack. Or I guess Jack and then Big. Because Big's a little more... I also said to Nicole yesterday, well, in the shower, I said, Nicole, what if 10 years ago I got bigged right before we met, but I never changed back, and I'm like, I was a 5-year-old, so I'm technically like 15 right now, and she said, I would hate that.
I mean, yeah, I think it'd be illegal if she liked it.
But I'm big now.
Ew.
I mean, it's fine.
Whatever. I don't judge.
I went to Adam Sandler and Coneheads, got a new Social Security, and now I'm big.
You're Edward DeChico. Richard DeChico.
Wow, why do you know that off the top of your head? I thought I was pulling something knowing Adam Sandler was the character.
I watch Coneheads like twice a year.
No, it's so gross.
It's so good.
It's
like
good.
There's a scene where he's eating pizza and like his wife is like sharpening pencil shavings, but he eats it and he makes this high-pitched scream because it's too hot. It's cinema masterpiece.
There was on Mostly Speaking Sentai when Mike Parker from Lowbrow Studios was on, and I go, did you guys know there's not a Coneheads 2? And Mike was like, yeah, what? And I'm like, I always thought there was a Coneheads 2. And he's like, no. And then I had to like think why. There were comic books and an animated pilot that would have been Coneheads 2. But no, why was there no Coneheads 2? I think it was a box office flop.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? It wasn't good. Oh my God. There's that other SNL movie, It's Pat.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it got made. I really can't believe it got made. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. Also, it's just a bad movie. Like, take all the incorrect things they are discussing socially and politically. It's just a bad comedy.
Yeah.
But what's not bad comedy is the death scene that's about to happen. This man, he's like, oh, I'll be hanging out in my office late into the night here in Chicago probably. And he has this putter, like an office putting green.
Yeah, like every rich tool.
But this one's cool because when he putts it, when it misses, it goes into this little reservoir, then shoots back at him. So he doesn't need to go get it, which also makes you realize, oh, this man, no matter what, needs a TV remote. The TV turns off. Obviously, we know it's chunky because he was put like, hey, guys, this is the first one right off the presses. And it's chunky. He's like, oh, I need to find this remote instead of stepping. If finding the remote where the remote was underneath the couch, if that's 4 steps, going to the TV is 3 steps for him. It's fine, guys. Sometimes if I'm like, oh, I need to feel a little active, I push the remotes away from myself. So then I can turn up the volume. If I'm like, oh, it's getting a little loud, I walk up to the TV, push it down, 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 down. Then I go sit back down.
Great. Exercise routine?
Yeah. That I'll have to do once.
That's great.
But use a TV like your forefathers did, okay?
Yeah. Laziness. That's not even laziness. That's like more work for himself, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He could also have a compulsion of like, no, it was there and I need to find it. I am sometimes like that with some things.
Yeah. Well, he's getting fucked with.
Yeah. By a little chunky doll running around saying, hee.
Yeah, and like he put the putter there for him and he just grabs it, you know? Did you see him like come up behind him and the putter's moving and then he's like, oh, there's my putter. I'm going to go putt.
Oh, no.
Chucky put it there.
Dang, he's a sneaky little man.
Yeah, and then all the toys start attacking him.
After he slips on some marbles, classic Home Alone style.
It really was.
And then when he starts like getting hit for real, Chucky walks up behind him and, hey, we're representing for the yo-yo kids out there. He takes a yo-yo and just strangles him with it.
Yeah.
Chucky's got them muscles unnaturally.
I know.
Don't you wish?
Weird. No.
I wish I could be that petite and be able to punch a man square in the neck and kill him.
That would be cool, actually.
Yeah. Be able to strangle someone, not just be able to strangle someone, but be able to strangle someone with a child's toy. I take the Boba Fett shooter thing and just shoot it in a kid's mouth and they start choking. And I say, I strangled someone with a toy.
I'd use an easy bake oven and cook my victims.
Oh, dang. You'd have to slice them real thin.
Exactly. It'd be torturous.
To fit them in there?
Yep.
You go to Subway and say, hey, I got you. I know you guys are slicing your meats now.
Ugh.
Let me slice this person. And they're like, no, just still alive.
No, but go ahead. We're not busy.
Oh, of course not. They're slicing their meats now.
Did they not before?
No, they're slicing meats in location now.
Oh.
Instead of having pre-sliced meats.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just all marketing.
Oh, like we're fresh. We prep daily. Got it.
I love Subway, though. Subway, gimme. For $5.50, I get a veggie, and I just truly, it's a miracle they can even fold it after I'm done with it. And it's soaking wet. And you know for real, I'm eating that sandwich because you need to eat this sandwich. Because once I get it, it's practically like a soup. Because, fork and a knife. Hum, scrum, nom, nom. So much Chipotle sauce. So much just a little bit of ranch, a little bit of mayonnaise, but just so much Chipotle sauce. Sometimes I ask for a little bit more on the sides to dunk it.
Jesus Christ.
The bread, hundreds of pickles. So many cucumbers died to feed me. Onions, green peppers, everything, salt and pepper. It's all just a way to shovel Chipotle sauce into my mouth.
God.
I love it so much.
I never get the same thing like twice. I always go and just get a random like build your own, and I just get stupid every single time.
No, I know what I like, so I get it every single time, to the point where, yeah, people at Subway have been like, hey, I already know how to make your order.
Hey, we made this 10 minutes ago because we knew you were coming.
Oh, that I wish. Boy, don't I wish. But then it would be like truly just mush.
Yeah. All right.
They say, hey, we made everything besides the sauce.
Yeah.
And I would get so much jalapenos on there. Ooh, baby. Oh. To the point where the next day, I got some fiery poops.
Ooh.
This is why people love our show.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Then we're flash forward into the military school, and the headmaster there, the colonel or whatever his name is, he says, troublemakers don't fit into the system, so grow up. And it's like, ugh, gross.
And then he quotes the Bible at him.
I said he quoted Bible Man at him because Bible Man quoted this, which is, when I was a child, I did childish things, but when I grew into adult, I threw those childish things away. Corinthians 4:20, brother. And then, like, that's pretty much that scene of just saying, like, hey, I understand you've had traumatic things happen to you, but here you do need to at least play within the lines a little. I'll give you that, like, I'll give you leeway for your past, but here, that's not going to cut it. Speaking of cuts, cut on to the barber boy.
Yeah, and go get your shit cut.
And this kid, this Tyler kid, I immediately was like, this kid rocks because he is holding what you would think would be the handheld of the future. Of like, oh, in 8 years, what is everyone going to be rocking? An Atari Lynx.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. At first, I thought it was a Game Gear, but I'm like, well, that's way too... Oh, he's rocking a Lynx.
Oh, well, fancy.
Which was a little successful, but once Atari started failing, they started failing. Like, the Lynx was... It was huge. It had a big screen. It was the first backlit, fully colored screen. I think it predated the Game Gear by a couple of years, and it's crazy how it wasn't more popular. I got to make sure the Lynx is actually what it was. Yep, 1989 that came out? Damn.
Is that when this movie came out?
This was 1991. I needed to make sure that, like, could this have been that? And then the Game Gear, Sega's Game Gear, came out in 1990. So yeah, it predated it by 1 year of having that fully backlit. And then they're up in, you know, like... Everyone's lined up, whatever that's called in military school, when everyone's at attention to some man screaming at them. And it's crazy how war could immediately stop if people were just like, oh, I'm not going to do this. If everyone, oh, hey, one person saying, let's go to war with this person. If all the other people are like, no, it's done.
Yeah, we're not going to do that shit.
Just like this, if a man's screaming at you, demanding respect like that, no, respect is earned, fucker. Just go up and everyone start punching and walloping on them.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
But hey, I don't know. It kind of seemed like a last resort situation, though.
Yeah, it could be. But I'm saying in general, like when you are in the military, why are you being screamed at? The person who's leading you should be leading by example and saying like, hey, I respect you, you respect me. That's the deal here, not, hey, you respect me.
Exactly.
That's Nicole and I's relationship, though. She screams, you respect me. And I say, I do. And she's like, all right, then we're good.
Well, okay. Good relationship talk.
It's not a demand, it's a question. She's saying, you respect me? And I say, yeah, of course. And then she's like, I can't believe you do. Why? She's got self-esteem issues.
Don't we all?
Uh-huh. People who don't are baffling to me. During this Shelton guy runs up to Andy and he's like, hey, what's my name? Say my name, fucker. And it's crazy how Andy or De Silva, the woman of the group who's like very funny, didn't say like, are you as hard as I am right now? Because that would have diffused this situation so much. And De Silva's very funny.
I love her.
The guy's like, oh, do you think you're funny? And she says, yes, sir. Yeah, I know I am. And then we do find out, because Andy's like, what can't you do? And she said, get kicked out of this bullshit school is for one. I want to know her backstory.
Yeah, me too. I should have did what is that? Not a runoff. You know what I mean?
No. The only runoff I know is of that pussy, baby.
Ew.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, give me a minute. It's coming. Not a runoff.
A spinoff?
Like a side quest? Yeah, a spinoff.
Okay, a spinoff movie?
Yeah, or like a show. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Maybe she'll come up in season 3 as well.
I would love that.
But I said I immediately loved Tyler, especially when he's going to seeing if he has mail from his father who is in the military and he's like defeated but is understanding that, hey, my dad didn't write me. But then I'm like, this kid's so stupid. He unknowingly brings Chunky into an armory. It's like this man thrives here.
Yeah, no, he's in his most powerful form.
He's in his Honda element.
Happy Honda days.
Happy Honda days.
But what a little shit. He stole his fucking mail.
Yeah, because he really likes a good guy.
That's weird. Oh, maybe he doesn't have friends. That's kind of sad.
Yeah. Or he doesn't, maybe his dad said, oh, I would have gotten you a good guy, but they discontinued it because of this dumb fucker saying one's killing people. And then Chucky comes out, he bursts on, he's like, hey, kid, where's Andy? And then he's like, hey, this is a new body. I haven't told anyone my backstory. I don't need Andy. Hey, kid, my name's Charles Lee Ray. And then the next thing we see is Chucky holding down Tyler, and Tyler's like, this isn't fun anymore. He's like, hey, trust me, it will be. And he goes, if you say so, Charles.
Yeah, and that's how kids get groomed.
Oh, no. Best case scenario for grooming would be like, well, you're just being groomed so, like, I can change souls with you.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, all right.
Because then it's like a bunch of kids' minds running around in dolls. We could deal with that. It's not as traumatic as, like, other grooming situations.
True.
Especially getting a haircut. That's a worse kind of grooming situation.
The way that barber does it, yeah. He's, like, getting aroused.
I mean, when he is actually cutting the hair, he's pretty okay. Except it's a travesty what he's doing to Tyler's hair. White people hair is different, guys. You need someone who is trained in non-white people hair because it wasn't good. He could have been looking a lot more cleaned up and dapper. Whereas like everyone else had like traditional military cuts. This kid did not. Maybe the parents were like, do not cut our child's hair.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. Don't
Like
fucking touch him.
as an actor being told that, but in the reality of this movie, he's doing a disservice to this child, Tyler. And then we get the like Andy's trying to like position his rifle, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I dropped my gun." And they were like, "That's not a gun, that's a rifle. This is your gun." And they hold his dick, and Andy should have been like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I must have been confused. I thought rifles could also be called guns, and what that in your pants is a peedle deedle."
I thought you were going to say when we first started the episode, that little shtick they did about the rifle and guns.
No, my other alts were, "and I'm new and improved," or "and I'm playing hide the soul." But I went with "I'm equitable," which isn't a reality. And then he gets thrown away because the headmaster is like, "Hey, you can't be playing with dolls here. That's for girls." This is clear.
Bitch.
This isn't like a girly doll. It's gigantic.
Yeah, and it's kind of creepy looking.
Yeah. I mean, like, girls are usually more into horror than little boys. Little boys usually wet their beds after watching a Goosebumps, but girls are like, "Hey, let's watch The Exorcist for the third time."
Oh, yeah. What else are you going to do on a Friday night?
Watch The Exorcist for the fourth time.
Exactly.
No, her screaming and her growls and whatnot, so creepy.
I'm excited for the new one.
The Exorcist's priest?
No.
The Pope's exorcist is what I meant to say.
No, they're doing a sequel to The Exorcist, and the mom is coming back.
And she's going to say,
"Kill me. I'm too old for this shit."
She says, "Oh, just please let me die so the devil can take me in hell." Mm-hmm. She's going to get fucked so good in hell.
Ew, James.
She is, and she's going to love it. That's what she's aiming for.
Ugh. Okay, is it just me, or did Chucky notice Andy when he was being carried to the dumpster?
Yes, and like he had to have, because he then finds him later on. But you don't see like a wink or anything.
No, but he kind of like, he was turned this way, and then you could kind of see like his head's like turned a little more. So I'm like, is he noticing him? Noticing him? You know what I mean?
Could be.
All right.
Maybe written in the script, it was like, "Hey, Chucky's face moves to let Andy know that that's the real, like, that is Chucky." But they're like, "Oh, we don't have the time or budget to do that."
Fair.
And then he gets thrown away. He's in a trash compactor screaming, "Someone help!" And then this trash man goes back there and when you walk into a trash compactor, one, turn it off. Make sure the power is cut completely, and then there is like keys to put in. Make sure you have those keys with you, so there is no way that this can be turned on.
And don't climb in the back of your truck and sort through that shit. It was just bad decision making.
Yeah, you could have said like, "Hey, dude, it's turned off. I'm going to go get help."
Yeah, are you hurt?
Yeah.
Because I'll get someone more qualified than me to come rescue you. We're at a military school.
I'll get a little like chain ladder to throw down to you. I'm going to have to hold it. So I'll pull you up that way. I got some rope. I found a yo-yo that looks like it strangled someone with.
Exactly.
And then Chucky comes back. He's at nighttime, has a knife, and he's like, "I'm going to get you, Andy." Or actually, no, he's like, "I'm going to get Tyler. Where is he?" And then Shelton comes in. He's like, "Oh, miss your mommy," playing with a doll. And Andy should have done some reverse psychology of like, "Oh, please, like, that's my doll. Like, I know you guys would probably use it as target practice. Please don't do that." And then Shelton would be like, "Yeah, I'm going to shoot the shit with this." And then
you are correct.
Chucky done.
Yeah.
They would have loved shooting this dude. I would have. But Andy's dumb.
Yeah, obviously.
And then there's a bunch of stuff that happens of like going like, "Oh, the doll went missing, so everyone's working out Tyler's playing hide and seek, but then the headmaster goes back into his place, sees Chucky, throws it away. Then he looks back. Oh, Chucky's no longer in the trash can. Then Chucky pops out and he says, "Don't fuck with the Chuck," or whatever he says. And then the man just holds his chest and instantly becomes a ball of sweat because, he had a heart attack and died.
Yep.
And Chucky's like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
Yeah.
And then the next morning they're like being silent and that barber's coming around just like touching people's head and is like, "Hey, when's your last one? Oh yeah, come here." And then he just like rubs some kid's head and kind of like a sommelier goes, "Wednesday, that's when you're gonna see me."
And then he like sexually touches that one bald kid's head and is like, "Oh my man.
You can't get it any shorter than this."
Mm-hmm.
This is how I wish the world were. And then Whithurst goes down there and sees Chucky had sliced his throat, which in like a very good way, because he asked Whithurst like, "Oh, is it me or are you just the sorriest sack of shit we've ever seen?" And like he slices the throat and he said, "It is you, Slice." And then he says one other cool thing that Nicole laughed at and said, "Hell yeah," but I don't remember.
I don't either. But he was full of one-liners. That's all his all his lines were.
He said like, "Presto changeo, you're dead." But Whithurst could have saved so many people and said something of like, "Hey," even just saying like, "Hey, this dude died. He's down there. Don't say you saw a doll down there, but like, hey, I went down there. There's no blood on my hands. I'm good. I'm not tracking." They would have seen little tiny footprints in there.
Yeah. I don't get why no one just stabbed him and like, "All right, my hands are clean. Let's fucking head out."
Yeah, just keep stabbing him. Slice his dome off.
Yeah, but there's no logic in these movies ever.
Speaking of which, Chucky does remove all the paint. So they're doing like a war games type thing at the military school. And now we're into our final act. They're shooting paint rounds. And Chucky changes all the rounds into real bullets. And he's like, "This'll slow these fuckers down." And this is where logic again. After the first shot with these real bullets, you would understand like, oh, these are real bullets. They are firing differently than the paint rounds.
Yeah, and I'd assume they'd be like louder too. Like
yes.
If you're well versed in guns, you should know like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and you see someone truly fall down from being shot all the way through. And everyone's like legitimately scared on the other side, screaming, "They're real rounds!"
Instead, they're just whispering to each other, "They're using live rounds. Get down."
Yeah. There should have been like not two more casualties, but at least two more people got shot to be like, "Oh, fuck, no, yeah, this is serious."
Yeah.
And this military school would have been shut down so quickly. Because not only that, Chucky throws a grenade.
Yeah.
And finally, Whithurst, he's not speaking up. He's like, "I'll save you guys." And he just jumps on that grenade and gadoosh, he's done. Yep. And that other girl who's there is like crying as if she had a thing for him, but that was never established.
That was weird. Yeah. She's like sobbing over his body. I'm like, you didn't say one word to him throughout the whole movie.
"Oh, Whithurst, I loved you.
Oh my God, I made fun of you so much.
You were one of those weebs who didn't know you had a fat cock."
Ew.
And then we're at a carnival. I would love to do a height of carnival horror movies because, horror movies filmed at a real carnival are so great, preferably not during the winter time, though.
Yes.
Just the lighting is fantastic, and this fun house is so good.
Ooh, have you seen Funhouse?
I have, and I was like, is this the same Funhouse from Funhouse? And it is not.
And then that would have been cool.
In the trivia for the Funhouse from 1981 or whatever, I looked, and originally Steven Spielberg wanted Tobe Hooper to direct E.T.
Could you imagine?
But he was busy with the Funhouse, so then they just linked up with Poltergeist.
That's fucking sweet.
Which is crazy to be like, hey, who do you want to direct E.T., this child's movie? Hey, let's get the guy who did Texas Chainsaw.
Maybe they're homies. Or were homies.
And then, yeah, they're in this cool fun house roller coaster ride. It's a beautiful set. Chucky's face gets cut in half, and he looks real cool. And he's on top of this volcano of skulls, trying to finish up the voodoo spell, but kadoosh! He gets shot, then eventually thrown overboard into this big old fan that should be protected by a grate or anything. And then Chucky's dead, and Andy's getting hauled off in a police car for the third time.
Oh, buddy.
And that was the movie.
Yeah.
What would you give it?
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Like a 3.
Oh, wow. I would give it... You're bumping the mic or something.
Sorry.
So I think this is a perfectly good slasher movie. I want to tell everyone to watch it, but I wouldn't fall asleep to this one. Or actually, out of all no, I don't think I would, because I would just want to watch it. So I'm giving this a 4.5.
Oh, look at you.
Uh-huh. It's real good.
Yeah, I think I just have some beef with them not using Andy.
Oh, the original Andy?
The original, yeah.
Well, because he would have been too young.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So they did a time jump is what happened. Okay, so he would have been like, what, 12 maybe?
Well, if he was 8 in 88 is when the first one came out?
Yeah.
So 8, 9,
11?
10, 11. Yeah, maybe even 10 if they filmed, depending.
Yeah. All right, that works, I guess.
I do think Bride of Chucky is better.
Oh, yeah. That's always a 5 in my...
And then this one just below that. And then the Chunky series, I think, is on equal par. It's like a 4.5, sometimes a 5-star. You gotta watch it, Presley. It's your favorite franchise.
I know. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite franchise.
You've literally told me it's your favorite, or maybe it's just it has some of your favorite movies.
It's like Bride of Chucky is like my favorite like horror movie.
What is your favorite horror franchise then, huh?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Mine's probably Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go To College.
Oh my God, I still don't believe that's a real movie.
Guys, we're watching it. It'll be the second time I will discuss it on a podcast. They need to make Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go To College 2.
That'd be cool.
Where the Ghoulies, like in this, they are classmates. They need to go to school. They need, kind of like a Billy Madison style. They need to learn the human ways in order to continue to be these demons that get summoned, those ghoulies.
But then the real horror is they go to college for 4 years and they can't afford a house after they start their dream job.
No, I think we could incorporate the fact that, oh, you guys need to room and board with a bunch of other people.
Yes.
Because they can't get a place in the dorm because it's like, well, you're 3 people, but you could take up 1 bed, but you don't want that. You want your own room. So they have to then join a frat or a sorority. They would totally dress up like lady ghoulies and be like, we're here for the sorority. And they're like, no, we don't have a problem with you being men or being individuals dressing up like women. We have an issue with you being ghoulies. We're sorry. So then they have to go to the nerds who don't realize they have fat cocks. And that would be one of the nerds in a fraternity that it's like, we're about to be cut, House Bunny style. And then they're telling them like, hey, no, you're all worth it. And then they're like, you want to know what, ghoulies? You're worth it too.
And you just wrote a script.
There we go, guys. That's a treatment. Do you want to get into Frankenstein Bucketstein, though?
Yes. Oh, he's just chilling back there.
All right. I'm grabbing through, and you just tell me when. There's only one that I hope it's not.
Which one is that?
I hope it's not Ernest Scared Stupid, because I'd love to do that in October.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, stop.
Okay, I got it. What's it going to be? It better not be Ernest Scared Stupid. No, it's the other one that I would have wanted to do, and I hope this movie's at all good. So, back in 1990-ish, 1991, a movie was made, and then just never released. Why was it never released? But eventually the American Association for Film Growth, or the AFG or whatever it's called, they found this movie kind of like they did with Bat Pussy. And they're like, hey, let's have I ever talked to you about Bat Pussy?
No.
It's one of the first ever porno parody movies that came out in the 60s or 70s. And it just, no one knows who was in this. It was never seen until someone found the reels in a movie store, and they're like, oh, what is this? They played it and they're like, what the fuck is this? No one knows the actors in it. There's barely any sex whatsoever. But the same company that did that put out 1991's Scary Movie.
Oh, weird. And that's the one we're doing?
Yep.
Crazy.
And then we'll watch Bat Pussy as well.
All
right, guys. Nicole will wanna be on the Bat Pussy episode, okay? She's like, I don't care how busy I am that week, I'll make time for Bat Pussy. Are you looking up Scary Movie or Bat Pussy? Okay.
Scary Movie.
Do you have anything to plug?
No.
What are you talking about? What about your Instagram?
Oh, if you want to follow me, Macabre's Kid, all 2 of you.
Oh, yeah. We got more than that. We got 7.
All 6 of you. Are we doing 1990 next?
I mean, we could, and if we do 1990 next, we could get Ghoulies 3 and Troll 2.
Oh, my God. Well, I want to do Frankenhooker.
Oh, dang. Yeah, we could do all of those. AGFA, which stands for American Genre Film Archive. That's who put out Scary Movie. I believe it's on, like, Tubi, maybe? Things of that ilk. It is currently on Tubi. Hell yeah.
Scary Movie.
Yes, from 1991. Cool. Oh, and it's a beautiful 1 hour, 22 minutes long.
Woohoo.
And it's straight up Halloween. We're getting into Halloween season.
Hey, we are.
It's
almost
August.
September.
I know.
Thank God.
Speaking of getting close to September, I have a new EP coming out with MC Deep called The Modern Myth, dropping September 15th wherever music is found under Marshland Monster. Follow me on Spotify or wherever you listen to music. Listen to my other podcasts, such as Mostly Speaking Sentai, Formulaic, etc., wherever podcasts are found, or head over to mlmpod.com for more information on those. Then head over to patreon.com/mlmpod, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday, I believe, will be Death from Above, the final episode, where a guest and I will be discussing the Sam and Max comic books. It's going to be a good time, baby. And then if you're a $10 patron, you get exclusive content every single month in the form of straight to Patreon or watch-alongs. Did a very stoned episode of Spice World recently. And this month, I think we're discussing one of, at least in Mars's mind, one of the worst ever Star Trek The Next Generation episodes ever. Because, boy, oh boy, he keeps telling us the plot line and we're like, so you think this is bad? Because this sounds amazing to us. And you get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast if you're one of those $10 patrons. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z., The Waz, Orion, he's a rapper or former rapper, Defo, D-F-O, Jordan B., The Chaos Witch, my Bickle, brother in common law, Joshua, Jake is Sweet Child at Times, Steve Barnes, that's Steve Barnes, also goes as Intro Void, follow him wherever music is found, The Womb in Which I Emerged, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and former roommate Shane, That Fed, he might be aforementioned guest on Death from Above this month. Core Winning, it's twitch.tv/Core Winning. Core Win, from This Movie's Gay, check that podcast out. We've done a lot of horror movies that are gay. And finally, from Formulaic and the Rom Complex, it's twitch.tv/R2Shelby2. It's R2Shelby2. And I've been James.
I've been Presley.
And this has been The Height of Horror. See you guys.
Later.
Bye. Oh,